All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into this YouTube video
Oh, wow.
from RJ Talks, and
Mm-hmm.
it's called "Trump Administration Officially Confirms Plan to Abolish the IRS."
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know about you, but
Big if true.
yeah, abolishing the IRS—that's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
So let's jump into this thing and see what's going on here.
Sounds good.
So right off the bat, this video is saying that the IRS is like unconstitutional, and
Okay.
that the U.S. should go back to a system where it's just tariffs,
Like how it used to be.
yeah, like before 1913, before the 16th Amendment, and all that.
Right, right.
And they're even saying that only foreign entities should be taxed, not U.S. citizens.
Interesting.
So they're proposing this thing called an External Revenue Service,
Okay.
which would focus on taxing foreign entities, and all that revenue would go back to, like, we the people.
Right, directly to the citizens.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it definitely raises some, questions. Like, first of all, does the Constitution really prohibit taxing U.S. citizens?
Right.
I mean, that's a big claim.
Yeah.
And then, how would a tariff-only system actually work in today's world?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, tariffs have historically been used to protect domestic industries, but they
Okay.
can also make things more expensive for consumers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's complicated.
Yeah, there's definitely two sides to that coin.
Absolutely.
So then this video takes a hard left turn
Oh?
and starts talking about Fort Knox
Okay.
and how Trump ordered an audit of all the gold reserves there.
Interesting.
And apparently the last time anything even close to an audit happened was back in 1974.
Wow, so a long time ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a real audit. It was more like a 2-hour photo op.
What? Really?
Yeah, and they only looked at 6% of the supposed gold.
That's not an audit.
No, not at all.
That doesn't make any sense.
So, of course, the video jumps right into the conspiracy theory stuff.
Oh, boy.
Talking about this congressman who was pushing for a full audit, and then, bam, he dies mysteriously.
Oh, wow.
Like straight out of a movie, right?
Yeah.
And then they suggest that Trump might revalue the gold,
Revalue it.
yeah, to its current market price, which is like $2,900 an ounce,
Oh, wow.
compared to the government's current valuation of like $45 an ounce.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, huge.
So what would that even do? Like, what would be the impact of that?
Well, they're saying that would have a massive impact on the national debt.
I can imagine.
But, then you have the Treasury Secretary saying there's no plans to revalue gold.
Oh, okay.
So who knows what's really going on there?
Right.
It's a lot of conflicting information.
Yeah, for sure.
So then on top of all that, the video talks about Cash Patel being appointed FBI director.
Right.
And they're making it sound like all the Democrats are freaking out about it.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, they're specifically calling out Adam Schiff, the guy who was censured by Congress.
Uh-huh.
He's saying that Patel is just a political hack.
Interesting.
But the video points out that Schiff has been accused of, weaponizing intelligence and stuff himself.
So they're saying it's hypocritical.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, right.
So it's like accusations of hypocrisy flying from both sides.
Yeah, typical.
And then, just when you think it can't get any crazier, the video announces that Mitch McConnell is retiring.
Oh, wow. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, and they're practically cheering about it.
Really?
Like, good riddance kind of vibe.
Interesting.
It seems like they're trying to say that this is a win for Trump and his supporters.
Mm-hmm.
That it shows, like, a shift in power within the Republican Party.
Okay.
Because McConnell opposed a lot of what Trump wanted to do.
Right.
And he's been facing, low approval ratings and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So his departure definitely makes you wonder, like, what's next for the Republican Party?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But, that's just one way to look at it, right?
Yeah, of course. There are always multiple perspectives.
Okay, so we've got a lot to unpack here. Abolishing the IRS, tariffs, Fort Knox gold, political shakeups.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Where do we even begin?
What I find fascinating is how this video is trying to connect all these seemingly random events into this narrative about, like, a major power shift in the U.S.
Right.
Like, economically and politically.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you wonder, like, what if they're right?
What if this is all a sign of something bigger?
Exactly. It's a lot to think about.
Definitely.
Well, let's take a closer look at some of their specific claims and try to, figure out what's what.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll see if we can separate fact from fiction.
All right, let's do it.
So let's dig into some of these claims a bit more.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they spent a lot of time talking about this whole External Revenue Service thing and how America should go back to its roots and rely on tariffs for revenue.
Right, right.
They make it sound like we could get rich by taxing foreign entities instead of our own citizens.
Yeah, it's interesting how they tie it back to the whole historical context of tariffs.
Yeah.
Like back when tariffs were the main source of government revenue.
Right. They even give specific examples.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like heavily taxing cruise ships.
Okay.
Or foreign alcohol. things like that.
I see.
But they even say that cruise ships currently don't pay any taxes because they fly flags from other countries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Liberia or Panama.
Huh. Is that true?
Well, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, some cruise lines do register their ships in other countries for tax advantages and stuff.
Right.
But they still have to pay taxes in the countries where they operate and dock.
I see.
So it's not like a total free pass on taxes.
Right.
It's like
right.
the video makes it seem.
Okay, so there's more to it than meets the eye.
Exactly.
But I guess they're trying to tap into this idea that America's being taken advantage of by other countries.
Exactly.
And that tariffs are a way to, like, fight back.
Yeah, turn the tables, they say.
Right, which I'm sure resonates with a lot of people.
Especially people who are struggling financially.
For sure.
It's a very powerful message.
Absolutely. It plays into this whole populist narrative about America being strong and independent and reclaiming its economic power.
Yeah, America first and all that.
Exactly.
But, we got to remember that tariffs can also backfire.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like they can lead to higher prices for consumers and even spark retaliation from other countries.
Right, which could end up hurting American businesses.
Exactly.
It's a complicated issue.
Yeah, there's no easy answer.
Definitely not.
Okay, so let's go back to that whole Fort Knox gold audit thing.
Okay.
Because they make it sound like there's some kind of conspiracy going on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say Trump wants to make sure the gold is there, and if it's not, we're going to be very upset. Like they're hinting that something shady might be happening.
Right, and they bring up that congressman who died mysteriously.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're really playing up the conspiracy angle.
It definitely adds to the intrigue.
Oh, for sure.
Makes you wonder what's really going on.
And then they keep emphasizing the difference in the gold's valuation.
Right, between the government's price and the market price?
Yeah, like the government says it's worth $45 an ounce, but on the market it's like $2,900 an ounce.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
And they suggest that Trump might revalue the gold to the market price.
Which would have a massive impact, right?
Yeah, they're saying it would affect the national debt.
But the Treasury Secretary denied any plans for revaluation.
Right, so it's kind of unclear what's really going on there.
Yeah, a lot of conflicting information.
Okay, so moving on to Cash Patel. They paint him as this, like, hero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's going to drain the swamp
and
expose all the corruption in the FBI. Right. And they say Democrats are terrified of him. Because they think he'll uncover their dirty secrets.
I see.
And they focus a lot on Adam Schiff's opposition, highlighting how he's been censured by Congress and all that.
Right, trying to discredit him.
Exactly.
Make him look like a hypocrite for criticizing Patel.
Yeah, it's like classic political maneuvering.
It definitely plays into the whole political divide in the country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Preaching to the choir, so to speak.
Yeah, but we should also mention that Patel's a controversial figure himself.
Oh, in what way?
Well, some people say he's too loyal to Trump.
Okay.
And that he might politicize the Justice Department.
That's a valid concern.
Yeah, so it's not as black and white as the video makes it seem.
Right, we need to consider all sides.
All right, so we've got the IRS, the gold audit, Cash Patel, Mitch McConnell, and this whole narrative of a power shift.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it's interesting how they weave it all together into one story.
Right.
Like it's all part of Trump's battle against the deep state and his mission to make America great again.
Yeah, it's a compelling story, but we got to be careful not to get swept up in the rhetoric.
Absolutely. Critical thinking is key.
Yeah, we need to look at the claims, consider different perspectives, and find evidence to support or refute what they're saying.
Exactly. It's about separating speculation from facts.
Yeah, because this video is full of bold statements, but are they actually true? That's the question.
That's the million-dollar question.
It's like we're watching this, political drama play out in real time.
Yeah, with all the twists and turns and...
Yeah, heroes and villains and...
It definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Right. But we have to remember, this isn't just a movie.
Right.
These are real policies and actions that could affect, people's lives.
Exactly. There are real-world consequences.
Yeah, so it's important to think about the implications of all this.
For sure. What would a tariff-only system actually mean for, the average person?
Right, exactly. And what about revaluing gold?
Yeah, how would that affect the economy?
It's like we need to connect these ideas to the real world and ask ourselves, how would this affect me,
right,
my family,
your community,
my community, exactly.
And we can't forget about the global implications either.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
How would other countries react to all these changes in U.S. policy?
Yeah, it's like a ripple effect, right?
Exactly. One thing leads to another.
And we could end up reshaping, the whole global landscape.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it really is.
Which is why it's so important to talk about this stuff. To think critically about it.
Yeah.
Weigh the consequences.
Right.
Consider different perspectives.
We can't just accept everything we hear at face value.
Absolutely not. We got to be informed. We got to be critical thinkers.
Yeah.
And we got to form our own conclusions.
Well said. Well said.
There's rarely one right answer.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It is. So I guess the biggest takeaway here is just the importance of staying engaged, informed, and critical.
Absolutely. Don't be passive. Be
Yeah.
active, be informed, and make your voice heard.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's about all the time we have for today.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, this was a good one.
It was a lot to process.
Definitely.
But yeah, thanks again, everyone, for listening.
And keep thinking critically.
Yeah, stay curious, stay critical, and stay engaged.